Elija Godwin running well for the United States at the moment. Rashid McDonald just starting to struggle maybe ever so slightly with 100 metres left to go. And Nanjing of Hungary trying to launch a challenge on the outside, trying to keep his squad in medal contention. A great run from Kamaraji, the Sri Lankan on the inside, keeping them in touching distance of the medal zone. But the Americans are going to hand over just in the lead ahead of the Jamaicans from the Hungarians.
Here we go, it's the men's 4x400m.
Busy track down there. Luckily, we're not going to make all these men run at once. 5 teams, 4 people each. There's 20 of them lined up there to be introduced to you for the men's 4x4 final. Surely these guys the favourite for the medal. Elija Godwin will lead off these athletes. He's the lead-off runner for the mixed 4x4 team in Eugene at the home World Championships, where they took a gold medal. But he's got the quartet that took the 1, 2, 3 in the individual event: Bailey, Patterson and Faust. Jamaica have come here as well with a strong team. Rashid McDonald will lead them off. Jasona Dennis second, Kibar Farquharson third, and Zamir Francis in lane 4. Hungary here as well, and Yingi will be their lead-off runner, and then Val, and then Kovac, and then Attila Molnar, 4th placer individually here in this championships. People's Republic of China drawn lane 3. Led off by Zhang, who will hand over to Zhang, and then Zhu, and then Zhu. Final athlete, final team from Sri Lanka go in lane 2. Kimaraje, Midushan, Silva and Raja Karuna. Sri Lankan national record could be under threat here. Stands at 3 minutes 11. And the Americans heavily favoured. They've won 10 gold medals in this event, but they haven't won for 9 years. Surely that's going to change in the next 3 minutes or so. The Jamaicans will not want to roll over and give this to the Americans. And then Yingi, the lead-off athlete for Hungary, personal best form this year. He exited in the semi-final individually, so he's a bit fresher than some of the other athletes that go later on in the American quartet for sure. So McDonald just settling himself into lane 5. We've got Sri Lanka in lane 2, People's Republic of China in lane 3, Hungary in 4, Jamaica in 5, and the United States out in lane 6. It's the men's 4x4 final. And away they will run in lanes for the first 150 metres or so, and then as they do in the open event, they'll cut for the inside and the argy-bargy will begin. Elija Godwin going well for the United States at the moment on the outside, but Nyingi, I mentioned the good form the Hungarian's in. He's trying to stay on terms with the American and with the Jamaican. McDonald drifts wide to try and protect his second position. Elija Godwin running well for the United States at the moment. Rashid McDonald just starting to struggle maybe ever so slightly with 100 metres left to go. And Yingi of Hungary trying to launch a challenge on the outside, trying to keep his squad in medal contention. A great run from Kamaraji, the Sri Lankan on the inside, keeping them in touching distance of the medal zone. But the Americans are going to hand over just in the lead ahead of the Jamaicans from the Hungarians.
Brian Faust started the individual final like an absolute rocket, and he's blasting down that back straight. Dennis of Jamaica trying to hold him, and Val of Hungary really driving into that bend to stay close to Dennis just ahead of him. This is great running from Faust, and of course the Americans for overwhelming favourites, having taken all 3 individual medals in the 400. But Dennis is really working to close the gap. Crowd beginning to roar because there's a fabulous end to that leg from Zhang of China, who's going to close down on Wal of Hungary. But Faust driving for the line here. They're at the halfway stage, the Americans from Jamaica, with China now in 3rd, Hungary 4.
A wonderful leg from Zhang of China. He pulled them into the medal zone. Attila Molnar of Hungary will go on the final leg. That'll be such a battle between the People's Republic of China and Hungary for the bronze medal. Jamaica as well, they're going to have to concentrate here. Kamir Farquharson is on their 3rd leg. But Jacory Patterson, the individual bronze medalist, is streaking away for this. I think this American quartet have got their eye on a fast time. The 4x4 is so often congested. You get in each other's way, you slow each other down. I wonder perhaps with a 1-2-3 individually. But the Americans have thought they've got an opportunity at getting close to 3 minutes. Jacory Patterson, he's just faltering here though in the last 100 metres. I wonder if he overcooked the first 300 metres or so, but Jacory Patterson, he holds on to the lead. He passed to the individual champion, Chris Bailey. But the Jamaicans have really eaten up the lead there that the Americans had coming in. And the earlier stages in this race, the People's Republic of China still holding on to silver medal position, but Attila Molnar trying to give his Hungarian teammates a piece of global hardware. Chris Bailey, he's never fast in the first lap, but here he goes, the American. Here's the bell, he goes through in 2:39. They're not going to be inside 3 minutes or that close to it. It might be around about 3:03 or so. Christopher Bailey, he's not pulling away from Demir Francis here, the Jamaican indoor national record holder over 200, doing so well to keep the Jamaicans in the silver medal position. Now the 200 metre specialist has to give way to the 400 individual champion. Christopher Bailey anchors the Americans to a global title, 3:03.13. That's a wonderful run. Attila Molnar does give the Hungarians a bronze, much to the disappointment of the local crowd. What an effort for the People's Republic of China. Good for them to pick up that 4th place. The season's best for the Americans. And a gold medal, a perfect championships for Christopher Bailey and Jacory Patterson and Brian Faust. And brilliant they could bring Elija Godwin along for the ride. And the Jamaicans, that was a good effort from them. Acquitted themselves really well to stay in contact with the Americans. I think Francis used all his 200 metre speed to just try to stay in contact with Christopher Bailey. Went to the form, but they all worked incredibly hard for it.
It did, and well done to the Hungarians, breaking the Chinese hearts. One of the best legs was Zhang of China, coming round really quickly to put the Hungarians under pressure. With a quartet like Godwin, Faust, Patterson and Bailey, it would have been a real shock if the Americans hadn't won that. But Hungary will be on the podium for the first time in World Indoor Championship history, and it's the first medal for the Jamaicans since their bronze 10 years ago. So back again in a medal-winning position in the men's 4x4. Wonderful from the Americans. And what a duel awaits us in the women's 4x4, with the United States taking on Poland, who've so often been so dominant. But that was some leg from Zhang to get the Chinese in contention.
It's pretty close there on that first lap. To be honest, I think the Americans, with Godwin putting him first, hoping there were some fresh legs to give them a bit of daylight, but it was Brian Faust, the individual silver medalist, the winner of the World Indoor Tour this season, just catching himself on the Seiko board there, who ended up giving Jacory Patterson quite a lead into that 3rd leg. Patterson, if we're honest, he looked a little bit fatigued in the closing stages, but he did hold on to give Christopher Bailey every chance of anchoring them to a global gold. A good effort from Kimar Farquharson to give Demir Francis a sniff at promoting himself further up the medal podium. But Attila Molnar, it was 4th individually, I think at points in early February. Attila Molnar fancied an individual medal. He just ran out of steam at the latter part of this season, but wonderful to see him turning up for his teammates. And when you look at the likes of Belgium, who've taken this title a number of times, I think a nation like Hungary have to be inspired by those performances. The Netherlands as well, another European nation that have punched into the medal zone in the relays. And Hungary now getting their first global relay medal. Results of the men's 4x4 in the penultimate race here at the World Indoor Championships is gold for the United States in a season's best 3:03.13. Jamaica, a well-deserved silver medal, 3:05.05, and a national record for the Hungarian quartet, and a bronze medal with 3:06.03.